it goes straight to the bone.
That's right.
Burns right
Eats
through
away.
you.
Eats away the skin.
A third of the people being killed over there is children under the age of 15.
That's right.
And this is just straight up mass murder, genocide, and of course, the boy that's coming in on Tuesday, he won't say one word, and he'll never will say a word, because his chief of staff is Rahm Emanuel, who was an Israeli citizen.
That's right.
This guy used to be in the Israeli army, so he was killing Palestinians. He's a murderer.
That's right.
And these people, his whole administration is nothing but Zionists.
Right.
And so he won't ever say a word against Israel. And no senator, governor, congresswoman, congressman, except Cynthia McKinney, she'll say something.
That's
but
right.
The other ones is all Uncle Tom's, bootlicking, chicken scratching Tom.
That's right. Yes, sir. And I think it's just a tragedy and a shame that, as you said, the congressional black Caucasians, Senator Roland Barris, that they're talking about rolling in, they have been silent, and even black leaders, with the exception of probably our sister, former Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney, who went there to take humanitarian aid and had the ship that she was on, or the boat, the vessel, of course, was deliberately crashed 3 times or smashed into by an Israeli vessel when they were only trying to take humanitarian aid. And I just think that as we're celebrating and commemorating this birth date of Dr. King, how could any black person or anybody with an ounce of humanity in them even compare a Barack Obama to a Dr. King? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's a total disgrace to that man, and totally, of course, inaccurate. For one, Martin Luther King was an African American.
Right.
Well, Obama is not.
He's a African American.
So, for any foolish individual to even make that comparison, he's totally out of his mind and is totally not in tune with reality.
Right. Yes, sir. Well, again, family, as you just joined us, we're having this conversation with Dr. Scott Whitaker, who will be in town. And we want to make sure that we fill up this venue, but also for those that want to view it on the pay-per-view live broadcast at libtv.com, then make sure you do so. But also, for those of you that want to do a righteous drive-by and join us this upcoming Saturday with Dr. Africa and Dr. Whitaker, then make sure you call 410-889-0100 for tickets and for more information. 410-889-0100, because we want all of you to be there and have your face in a place this upcoming Saturday. This will be the place to be. Not trying to get down to the War Memorial Building when Obama does a drive-by, and I'm hoping that's all it is a drive-by, and he just drive his ass on by and keep going, because our people are drunk.
That's right.
They got the stage set up down there.
They drunk, Doc. I got to be honest. They drunk.
And blocking up all the streets here in Tubman City, too.
And we waiting for them to sober up, but by the time they sober up, Doc, I'm afraid they're going to have some genetically modified food coming into their home, along with the genetically modified politicians. I'm afraid they're going to have the Vero chips, the RFID chips. They're going to have the GPS systems, and they're not going to know what's hit them. Can you talk about that?
It's really almost like it's sad, and at the same time, it's like, I just don't know, man. I thought after Katrina that the masses could see that the government don't care nothing about you.
That's right.
And then we come to the year 208, and it's like this whole revival of this fake patriotism and this alliance or allegiance to office or position that they think is actually going to make a change. That just baffles me.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand that.
Right. That's right. We trying to overstand it.
Until the Federal Reserve, until you remove the Federal Reserve, you ain't making no changes.
That's right. Absolutely.
The Federal Reserve is about as federal as Federal Express.
That's right. Yes, sir.
International bankers. That's who controls this thing.
That's right, Doc.
Any president. You go back in history and look at any president who was assassinated. Every last one of them who was assassinated went up against the bankers.
That's right.
Ended up getting their head shot off.
Kennedy, call the roll.
The last one we know of is Kennedy.
That's right. Some say Ronald Reagan, and he almost got taken out.
Yeah, well, and actually, Clinton mentioned it,
right,
that he wanted to bring in interest-free money, and that's when they sent Monica Lewinsky on him.
That's right. And some would say, of course, Dr. King went up against these international bankers, and that's the reason why he had to be taken out as well as Brother Malcolm, in terms of him going on an international level and going after and exposing these international bankers when he said that the system or the seeds of the destruction are right within the confines of this system. And he said it's an international system. It's not just a national system. And then Dr. King talked about when he spoke against the war in Vietnam, he said that we would see individual capitalists from the West investing huge sums of money in Asia, Africa, and South America only to take out the immense profits with no concern for the betterment of the country. And we would say that this is not just. So he clearly was talking about these international bankers, and because of that, he had to be removed.
You better believe it. You better believe it. And that's who's running this car, is the international bankers, the international money lenders.
That's right.
And when you got these clowns just printing up money,
right?
Hyper out of thin air now. This is out of thin air.
That's right.
And then they send it into circulation. It creates hyperinflation, and the whole game is to destroy the middle class.
That's right. And when we see that, Doc, again, I'm reminded of Nazi Germany or the Weimar Republic, and what came out of that, of course, was fascism and the rise of Adolf Hitler. And when I see this campaign of Barack Obama, he making what Hitler and the boys did look like some Boy Scouts right now.
You better believe it. Yeah, if you want to, people, the listeners may not know what the word fascism is,
right?
But if you want a synonym, it would be corporatism,
right? That's right.
And that's what you see. Just look at the sports arena around the country now. They're all named after a corporation.
That's right.
All of them.
Right. Absolutely.
What's the one down there in Baltimore? What's that name?
M&T Bank Stadium.
There you go.
M&T, the boys from New York.
And,
that's right.
All across the nation, every last one of the arenas now are controlled by corporations. The corporation, GE controls CBS, and the list goes on. And I mean, and they control the government.
That's right. Absolutely, and that's what we see.
International bankers supplying the money supply to choke everybody, and then to make everyone slaves. That's why they hate Islamic Republic of Iran so much, because they don't have any IMF loans.
That's right. And
they don't have any World Bank loans.
That's right.
They're self-supportive.
Right.
And they can't stand nations that are self-supportive because they have no debt.
Right.
The only way they control nations is through debt.
That's right. Debt is slavery.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
You're saying something, Doc. And when we talk about the corporatization of America, what Obama is talking about, building the infrastructure of this country, will be what he calls a private and public partnership. And to me, there's no such thing as a private-public partnership, which you will see as a takeover. Can you talk about that?
Oh, it's no doubt. There is no such thing. He's just using funny words and trickery. And all he's talking about is that the so-called rights, the little rights that we have left from the Constitution and Bill of Rights, he's about to try to get rid of that. That's why you see gun sales went up 400%.